What's up guys, welcome to your 11th After Effects tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to be learning how to edit multiple properties on the same screen. Now in the last tutorial we learned how to use the graph editor to edit one of these values such as rotation, or if we had something like position we could edit that one too. But the only problem with this is when we want to try to coordinate two or more properties, it's kind of hard to toggle back and forth and see what one we can edit and what one we can't. So to do that, here's what we need to do. If you want to get more than one value on the graph at the same time, then you need to right click and you need to click Show Animated Properties. This is going to show all of your properties that you animated, and this is going to let you coordinate one or more animations on the same screen. Now After Effects automatically color codes them so that you can tell right here in your composition panel and right here in your graph editor what each line means. Now there's one problem with this. A lot of the time you're gonna have properties that have a huge range. For example, you might have a position chain that's only like 100 pixels or something, and you might have a rotation that's like 6,000. So one line is going to be like only like this on your screen that you can barely even tell what it is, and the other line is going to be way shooting off the graph, and your scale is going to go from like 0 to 2,000. So one way that you can isolate some of these lines, or actually the way that you should do it, is if you only want to work with a couple properties at a time and not show all of them, you need to go down to this little eye and make sure that everything is selected except Show Animation Properties. Once you click that, you're going to be able to choose what animation properties you want to see, and you do that by using this little button right here. When you click one of these buttons, it shows you it can isolate just what properties you want. If the box is selected, it means include this on the graph editor. As you can see, we now have rotation selected, and we now have only rotation on the graph editor. If we select position too, then we have rotation and position. And of course, if we deselect rotation, then we only have position. So this is pretty helpful if you're working with a bunch of different properties that you animated, but they have a wide range of values. If you only want to coordinate 2 of them or 3 of them, then you can get rid of the other ones, get them out of the way, and concentrate on the ones you're working on. So this is a very useful tool when you're trying to coordinate images or animations. So let's go ahead and just do that right now. Since we wanted to coordinate this animation, let's make Charlie rotate at his we'll make sure we change his rotation when it gets the peak of his positioning. So go ahead and move this position over to the middle of this. This is the change in position, and as you can see, this is a lot easier than trying to move your keyframes in your non-graphical editor mode. And another thing I want to do is bring down his positioning, his rotation, as he's approaching the end. So as you can see, now Charlie, if you watch him, he's rotating, and at the top he's going to change his rotation. So that's a useful way. And again, if we want to apply easy ease, select the keyframes and do them one by one. Ease in and ease out, and now as you can see, this is a very useful way to coordinate our animations. Very useful tool when trying to coordinate keyframes, and if you want to achieve the desired effect, then you can do it by doing this. So learn how to use the graph and edit multiple animations at the same time, and as you can see, it's a lot easier way to coordinate your animations among keyframes. So thank you guys for watching, study this tutorial, and I hope to see you next time. What's up guys, welcome to your 12th After Effects tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to hold keyframes and also how to even out your animation path really easily. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do is teach you guys how to hold keyframes. Now what holding a keyframe means is this. If you go to our animation and watch, you see that Charlie the Chupacabra is going to go along this motion path in a nice smooth manner, just like that. But sometimes you're going to want them to jump from one keyframe to another, and this is called holding a keyframe. It holds the object at one keyframe until it gets to that point in time where it reaches the other keyframe, and then it makes them jump to that keyframe. So go ahead and select whatever keyframe you want to hold. I'm going to go ahead and select the first one since I'm going to want to hold them on the first one. Once you have the first keyframe or any keyframe selected, go up to Animation, go down to Toggle Hold Keyframe. And as you can see, this dotted line now changed to a straight line. And when we play our animation, it's going to hold Charlie here until he gets to this point in time, and then it's going to jump him to the next keyframe. So let's watch it in action. As you can see, Charlie stayed at the first keyframe until it was time to go to the second keyframe, which it held him there. Now remember, whatever keyframe you hold, it's going to hold him there until it gets to the next keyframe. So if you're going to hold your last keyframe, it's not going to do anything. It's going to be worthless. So another easy way that you can do this is hold down the Control Alt tab. It's a Control Alt and click your keyframes. This is a really easy way that you can toggle them on and off. So let me just play you guys that real quick, show you guys what that means. As you can see, he automatically jumps from one keyframe to the other while keeping his other animation properties. So let's change that back to normal, and I want to show you guys the next thing I wanted to go over today, and that's called roving keyframes, or what I call it, evening out the speed of your animation. Now once you have a huge motion path, you can see that it can be a pain that all of these speeds are different. For example, this one goes slower and this one goes real fast. Now I could try to adjust those by hand in the graphical editor, but there's a lot easier way to do this. First we need to open up our graphical editor so we can see what's going on, and now we can see the speed of Charlie. First he's going kind of slow and then he's going kind of fast. Now if we have a huge path, then it can be kind of a pain to even all these out, so here's a shortcut. Go ahead and make sure that your position is selected, and once you click this it'll select all your keyframes. Then you want to go down to the triangle right here and you want to click Rove Across Time. Now before I click this, take note of how close these dots are and how far away these dots are right here. When you click a Rove Across Time, you can see all your dots are evened out, and now when we play our animation, Charlie goes at a nice constant speed throughout the whole animation. Just what we wanted. And again, you can see it graphically here that instead of two different speeds in your graph, you now have one constant speed. And this is very useful when you have a huge motion graph with a bunch of keyframes. Then you can just press this little triangle, press Rove Across Time, and this will make your animation remain a constant speed. So if you tried anything else before, I just wanted to show you guys that. It's a lot easier way. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.